good morning, and welcome to the Reach Podcast Show with LeVar Ellis. We'd like to welcome you on this beautiful Thursday morning. As you guys can see, we have some wonderful guests and in studio, on location guests here with me today. We're in for a very amazing show this morning. I have my guest this morning, Ms. Humi Jackson. And then we also have a special co-host, Ms. Maegan, Chenelle. So we'll introduce them, these young ladies here in just a minute. But guys, it's been a great couple last weeks. There's a lot of information to be updated, things to talk about, but we have a great show lined up, so I won't share much of that right now. We'll get into that later, or maybe come back and do a video or upload or some reels or something on IG to keep you guys informed on what's going on. But to make sure we get right into it, I want to go ahead and pay recognition to my show sponsors and let you guys see what type of backing we have here with the show, and make sure we pay homage to the people who help us out here every week, giving themselves and making this platform a better place. So as you know, we are live every Thursday, and it's from 10:30 to noon. So just tune in, stay connected with us, and take a look at some of our show sponsors. First, I guess I will put up Miss Candace Joseph and the Joseph Consulting Firm. If you have any type of business ideas, any type of needs that you have business-wise, marketing, planning, anything, this is definitely a team that will work with you from beginning concept to end and help you even along the way, help you with your marketing, all type of things like that. So shout out to my girl Candace, and also being the one who produces the flyers week in and week out for the Reach Podcast Show. So salute to Candace Joseph and the Joseph Consulting Firm. Next, we'll just get into these videos that we have, and we'll be right back. Man, y'all get with the World Youth Foundation. Shout out to the whole World Youth Foundation family, especially my YIP partners, Miss Michelle and Miss Ronnie. I'm excited about the event that we're going to do in the field lesson that we're going to do with the youth this weekend. So y'all stay connected with the World Youth Foundation and get your kids involved, because it's all about helping these kids out and giving them something they've never been exposed to. Next, we'll go into our next.
This is Kivia Jones of the Executive Suite. The Executive Suite is a natural skincare and body care product line. Each of our products are created with your overall self-care, health, and wellness in mind. We definitely believe in plants over pills because cannabis has saved each of our lives. And if you are listening to the Reach Podcast Show with LeVar Ellis, it could possibly change yours too.
Absolutely, absolutely. So if you have any type of healthcare needs, and you're a person like me, you know, I was just in the hospital, as everybody knows, so thank you again for all the prayers, all the support. But if you're not into taking those pills, she definitely has a solution for you. So definitely get with the Executive Suite. So appreciate you guys over there. And they're growing too. And then lastly, man, I have to shout out to my boys over at the Black Store. Shout out to Lloyd and Randy for hosting the poetry night that we had last week. It was an amazing, amazing night. We didn't expect as many people that showed up, so I guarantee you, so if you're watching this and you were at the show it's going to be bigger, it's going to be better, and we actually wanted to have it outside. We are COVID conscious. For anybody who was like, man, these fools are crazy, they just got all these people here. We're COVID conscious, but I just thank God for the turnout because it was way bigger than we had planned it to be. So here's a little something from the Black Store.
If you haven't been to the Black Store Beauty Supply Experience, this is a personal invitation to come experience the best customer service at a beauty supply store. Bringing you all the beauty brands that you know and love, but most importantly, we support more than 70 local Black-owned brands in the state of Texas and Louisiana. Like having access to a Black-owned pop-up shop 7 days a week. For the ladies who love to pamper themselves, please come experience our nail salon and spa. For the fellas, y'all can look forward to a barbershop coming soon. We'll have our own personal man cave back here. And for those who have a thing for agriculture, we definitely want you to come visit our backyard where you can find our community garden. Thanks for tuning in to the Reach Podcast Show with LeVar Ellis. Y'all enjoy this great content.
Yeah, so definitely go and check out the Black Store. They're doing so much in the community. Check out their community meetings. Go over there and sign up for the emails and text messages. They'll keep you updated from week to week about all the different things going on. It's definitely a place that if you want some exposure or you're trying to do some positive things within the community, definitely a good hub and a good connection to make with those guys over at the Black Store. And lastly, definitely got to go ahead and give a shout out to my people over at Hello Black Man. If you're a person that's into writing or journaling, this is definitely an experience that you want to get from them. The Hello Black Man is a journey journal is what they call it. And so it gives you the opportunity to write and get by yourself or even share the experience with your kids or with your spouse or with your family or whatever and leave behind a legacy, because a lot of times we don't know what to say about our people when they're gone, but also what about when they're here? We think we know people, we really don't, but it's an opportunity to have the Hello Black Man, Hello Black Woman, Hello Black Child, Hello Black Teen, Hello Black First responder, and Hello Black Entrepreneur. And even if you're not Black, they have a journal for you too. So definitely want to get connected with them. And here's a little small message from them as well.
Hello, Black Man. This guided journal is being made available to build character, confidence, and define the inner person.
It has been deemed clear that our culture and our past has hindered Black men from being open and vulnerable.
Hello, Black Man.
Hello, Black Man.
All right, guys. So that's it for our show sponsor. So again, definitely connect with the Hello Black Man movement and also visit their website at www.helloblackman and find out more information about them and their company and why it's so important to get involved with the things that they're providing. But without any further ado, we also have, he jumped off, waiting on my man, Brother Malcolm. We have a poet that's going to be coming on this morning. But at this time, I'd like to introduce my co-host, or I'd say let her introduce herself. Ms. Maegan, go ahead and let the people know who you are.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. I am Maegan Chenelle, owner of Beyond Beautiful Studios. I'm an esthetician in the Houston area.
Thank you. And I'm looking forward to doing a few more shows with you. So, tell the people why you're actually here. You have a aspiration to do what?
So I just want to reach the youth and the younger generation and help lead them into making better decisions. And so just having open and honest conversations about real life issues.
Absolutely. And you're going to do that by creating what? You're going to create your own show or podcast?
My own podcast. Eventually, yes.
All right. So we're working on that right now. So she's definitely an amazing co-host. We met the other night again at the Poet Night. And we have our guest poet that's going to be coming in, opening the show. So we'll be getting with him in just a moment. But also want you to introduce our guest for today. Allow you to reintroduce yourself.
Hello, peace, everybody. My name is Humi Jackson. I am one of the co-founders and CEOs of GBHT, Girls Buy Houses Too, and I'm so ecstatic to be here and to educate you all on a few things today.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank both of you guys for being here. But without further ado, I'd like to introduce a young man that has an amazing skill and amazing abilities. He's a poet. He goes by the name of Brother Malcolm, Brother Malcolm the poet. And we want to bring him in and give him an opportunity to introduce himself, talk about the things he has going on, and just bless us with a piece of his poetry. So let's bring him in. Brother Malcolm, good morning, brother. How you doing?
Good morning. How y'all doing this morning?
Doing well, excuse me. So yeah, just go ahead and introduce yourself to the audience and let everybody know who you are and talk a little bit about the poetry night from this past Friday.
Oh, to lead with that, big shout out to the Black Store. When I got there, I had no idea what to expect, but I was thoroughly impressed with the event. It was an honor to share the stage with the other poets. Even the vendors were something else. I actually hooked up with the Sea Moss vendors from that night, trying to get them to come out to an event that I'm having out in Baytown this Saturday. About me, I've been doing poetry for 17 years now. I've been writing since a kid, but I've been doing performance poetry for about 17 years. Should have been way more consistent than I have been, but I mean, such is life. So follow me on Instagram at Brother Malcolm the Poet. I'm half of Shoebox Entertainment. We do event planning, hosting, DJs, sipping paints, public and private. Which brings me to our event for Mother's Day this Saturday. We're having poetry and paint and sip in Baytown, Texas. It's actually, we're not going to be painting on canvases. We're going to be painting wine glasses for our mamas and with our mamas. I got a whole little thing set up for the mamas. We got some raffles that's going on. Like I said, we got some vendors that's going to be out there, hookahs, sunglasses. The food is included in the ticket. So, and some good artists. We're going to have She's So Cold, Poetry Lives, Zen Ashe, Tracell West, Bella the Speaker. So it's going to be a great time on Saturday. I'm going to say a poem for you. This poem is called
Before you do that, man, I have to let the people know, like, before Friday, we hadn't even actually met, you know, and from the this part of my show where I started incorporating poetry, I ran across you on IG. I had seen your name. I put out a, PS and was trying to get everybody to come on and, add more poets. And I tell you, hands down, the people that were already on board, they told me Brother Malcolm was somebody I needed to connect with.
Man,
and,
when
you came Friday, you showed us why. So, I just want to say thanks. I'm glad we had the chance to actually meet. And you already know we're going to keep this thing moving forward. And, don't forget, after you say your piece, we'll re-talk about the event that you have going this Saturday, man, because mother's everything. We got two queens in the house, our women. We definitely want to look after them and make sure we give them their flowers while they're here. So I respect and salute. I ain't gonna lie, I can't make it all the way to Baytown this weekend, brother. But we're gonna get together. We're gonna do something, man. Send me the flyer. I'll promote it for you or whatever the case may be. But I wanted to give you the stage back, bro, and I'll remove us from the camera.
Okay. Currently, this poem doesn't have a title, so if you got a creative title for me, give me a shout. You might need a better team so they could bring some better feedback. Because there's some static in the speakers and we deep thinkers, well, we'd rather hear the feedback. See somebody pass you the ball and you might want to send that feedback because they were sleeping in the post. I mean, sleeping on my post, so you might want to scroll my feeds back. Are you open for feedback? Because whoever your sounding board is has got your sounding board ring. I mean, acting like a champ, but I'm counting no rings. See, I've been on the team, but I'm refreshed to the scene like play action. What happened? I'm the best with the screen. And like a young quarterback, I'm always looking for the long play. Because the shit has got to happen tomorrow and today. I mean, fuck what the song say. I'm on attack. Call in your Mayday and tell them that I crept in the back and got my hooks in while you was looking the wrong way. Excuse me for venting, because shit, it's been a long day and it no longer feels wrong to say what it is that I might be thinking. I'm like a printing press when I start drinking. And sometimes they're unimpressed when I start speaking and I miss my cues for leaving. Have I been here too long? Have you heard this poem too many times? Is this the same shit on repeat that you've heard in too many lines? Or do she see when he speak and think, damn, this nigga fine? These words release was buried beneath the scramble that is my mind. So forgive me if I ramble from time to time. I'm just the fool that tried to float his boat on hope and almost drowned in the lake. See, I'm bound to be great, but be feeling let down by the weight. Then I'm disappointed in my own damn self and held down by its weight. And somehow, along the way, yet by mistake, I lost my whole canvas, but I found all my paint. Working on my masterpiece. I fucked around the masterpiece. Wolves I peep even when they master sheep. I spot a snake even when the grass is deep. I'm hunting money, I know its habit, I track its feet. Catch him, clean him, commence to feast, and then, just for luck, I keep his feet. Shit, his shoes too. Maybe I'm out my rabbit ass mind and a little horse too. You see, the truth ain't gotta be believed to be the truth. And if you don't believe me now, well, that makes me the proof. And well, honestly, I can be a little hit or miss when I speak. But she loves how I spit and how wet it gets when I'm deep. My click, it ain't that thick, but it's deep with belief. I mean, stiff like a pair of jeans in 96 with the crease. Stay flow. Love, hate, relationship with the stage, but I can't stay away though. Hey man, say man, wait though. If you're watching all my moves, you off your hustle. So I'ma eat, wake and sleep. That's off the muscle. Hunter, this the jungle. I'm Brother Malcolm. That's that piece.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, that was good, man. For real, that was deep. Like,
Appreciate it.
You know, how long have you had that piece?
That's the newest piece I've written. I've had that piece ready for the stage maybe about 4 weeks now. That's all.
Man, that's what's up. The delivery was everything, man. And I don't know if the ladies want to share anything. You have anything you want to tell them? I always like to let everybody know what they thought about your piece, man. I love it. Absolutely.
I love it as well. I love the alliteration in it. It had you get going. It had it flowing. It was really, really nice. I dig it.
Absolutely. Miss Chenelle, I was supposed to turn the camera. That's all right. Maybe you can lean over. You can tell what you think.
I loved it.
Appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Hey, man, keep doing what you're doing. Again, everybody go follow brother_Malcolm_the_poet on IG. And go ahead and tell them again about the event so they don't forget.
Okay, it's May 8th, 6 to 10, Baytown, Texas, off of DC Street. Hey, y'all go from y'all houses to downtown, and it take you about 20-30 minutes from where you live in the suburbs to get downtown. It take me the same about 20-30 minutes to get downtown too. So Baytown, hey, come holler at me. It ain't that bad. It ain't that far. We go to Katy, we go to Cypress, we go to Galveston. Y'all can come to Baytown for an evening. Come out.
Absolutely. And you know what? Now that you say, I'm thinking Bay City. You're in Baytown.
Yeah. I'm out on the east side, right over the river.
Baytown, yes, that's absolutely not that far. So yeah, I'm glad you reiterated that because it just clicked in my mind. I was thinking Bay City, so I apologize. Definitely, Baytown is not that far.
Yeah, me in the community of people that I've been working with, we're trying to push to bring the arts to the east. Everybody has venues, everybody has things going on every other section of town. But once you hit 610 on the east side at I-10, going eastward, it's an untapped market, and everybody out there has to travel.
Absolutely.
So trying to bring the arts to the east side and try and even out the playing field for everybody so everybody can benefit.
Absolutely, brother. Hey, man, mad respect. Appreciate it. Hey, and do me a favor. Go ahead and share it with the group, man. I'll be in there a little later on. I'll get back with you. But I want to see what everybody has to say about it, and looking forward to more of them coming on, man. So, peace. I appreciate you being at work and taking the time out, brother. And also,
no problem.
Event planning, you got to get by here. So look on my page or look on the information. And remember, Diamond Fit Nutrition Club, which is over here in West Houston off of Westheimer and Highway 6 across the street from West Coast Mall, because we're looking to do more events and then want to keep it in the family, man. If you can help me plan out some things, we'll make that happen. So remember, Diamond Fit Nutrition. Just tell them the Reach Podcast Show sent you when you come, all right?
All right, will do. I appreciate that.
All right, Malcolm. Have a great one, brother.
You too. Later, ladies.
All right, man. So again, ladies, I think that was a dope poem. Give me some of your feedback on things that he was saying.
Feedback that goes right.
Goes along with it.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
A lot of times in the society, it's misconstrued that the idea of being on social media is better than your reality. So that was very, very deep of like, you know, we constantly are looking for somebody else's approval, even if we're in our own lane. And so everybody's on their own type of time. And so we just kind of, you know, got to go with it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the way I looked at it is that just speaking, the arts, I've come here recently to understand, always understood it, but being more intentional about how important it is, you know, for us to keep the arts alive and support the arts and everything, because it's just an artistic way for everybody to express. Did you have anything you want to share on that?
No, I just really like the poem, and the purpose of it is being more business, you know, business related, and I like that.
Gotcha. All right, so we want to get into the show. Again, we want to talk to Ms. Humi Jackson and find out more about what she does in this organization that she has created, which is the GBHT, Girls Buy Houses Too?
Girls Buy Houses Too.
All right. And so again, we met Friday at the Poetry Night. I'd like you to speak a little bit on that and your experience there. It was my first event. I felt really nervous about it. Again, we were supposed to have it outside. It was supposed to be this elaborate experience in the back. And as we all know, this is Houston, Texas, so the rain made us move inside. And so we didn't really know how many people to expect. And once it all kicked off, we had amazing vendors coming out like yourself, and it just turned into a whole vibe. So for me, it was really, really dope just to watch and see the work that I put into it, the team of poets that I had behind me, and the Black Store, and all the support, basically, you know. And then the community came out to support. So it was huge for me. So
it was really awesome. The turnout was amazing. It was actually a full house.
Right.
And we had a few people in the back, you know, stutter stepping, but it was really, really enjoyable. So thank you. That was so great for your first event.
Absolutely. I appreciate it.
So I really enjoyed the event. I can't believe it was your first event.
Yeah.
Right. Like, you did amazing.
Right.
It was an amazing turnout. It was some amazing vendors and guests that showed up. I really had a good time.
Thanks. We're definitely gonna be doing more, definitely at the Black Store. We've already committed to where summer's approaching, so we're gonna pick an evening where we can be out in the back, because you guys have to come and experience the community garden, the agriculture they have going on back there. And just, it's so many lessons that can be learned and taught just in that simple environment. There's a stage, and just being amongst the elements, which I'm sure you can speak on, because I overheard you saying you're a gardener.
I am.
And we've already talked about going to do some maybe community service and inviting some of the youth out, or you don't even have to be a youth. That's just my focus. But you can be an adult, you can be of any learning stage. And I'm no green thumb, so you'll be teaching me as well. I just have a desire. So if you don't mind speaking briefly on why you think agriculture, growing our own stuff, why that's so important.
So it really ties into everything. You know, food is everything. It's one of our basic necessities. We have a lot of food deserts in our underserved communities and pockets around Houston. And, you know, within our underserved communities, if you can't get any food, then you're going to have to go further out. You're going to want to be lazy and just stop at places like McDonald's and Burger King. And then it leads to things, not necessarily malnutrition, but you're undernourished, and then you just become like a sluggard a little bit. So it's really, really deep. And so if we're able to provide our own nutrition, we're knowing what the ingredients are within our food that we consume, then it takes a whole nother level, and it takes us to a whole nother vibration. So it's very, very important to, you know, be productive and proactive, and, you know, just feed your community.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, community services is a big place, a big deal in that respect too, because I'm the head of a portion of this organization where we actually have a food pantry. We call it the Joy of Giving, and we are out in the community picking up from vendors such as Chick-fil-A, Whole Foods, Chipotle, all these different places, Seasons 52. And so what they're doing is they're donating nutritional items to us, necessity needs to us. And so that's every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And so we go wherever it needs to go. Like, we know of a certain need, then we make sure we deliver those items to that particular community. So saying all that to say that if you have a need for food, or you have a need for essential items, just DM me, inbox me, let me know, because we'll get you connected. And by y'all doing that, you can maybe possibly be a volunteer to pick up stuff, because we're looking for volunteers to go on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday when there's excess. And so we can rotate days. because it's all about reaching different communities. And so we can chop it up a little bit because we want everybody to get a piece of the pie is what it's all about. Do you have anything you want to add to that in regards to the food deserts or, you know?
Well, I'm just looking forward to participating because I'm on my journey of eating healthy and, you know, raw foods and stuff like that. I'm actually fasting right now.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm just
I'll get you on the team going over
the
to Whole Foods. I mean, they have Snap Kitchen meals, different produce, and I mean, it's an overload, you know.
Okay.
And so we have just a few people going right now, but there's enough for like 2 or 3 people maybe to go on certain days. So that's something we can definitely talk about.
Yes,
but
she would be more than happy to partner. Yeah,
absolutely. You know, and when y'all have events, we can donate to those events and stuff like that. But Miss Jackson, sorry, Miss Jackson. Oh, no. Let's talk about why you're here. So tell us a little bit more again about yourself and about your organization, why you started, how did this GBHT start?
Yes, so my name is Humi Jackson. I am a realtor and one of the co-founders and CEO of GBHT, Girls Buy Houses Too. It actually was started by one of my other co-founders, Ashley Blanton, and with Jasmine Brown. And really, it's another outlet for investors and anybody pertaining to real estate, especially women of color, Black and brown, to gather together and create resources throughout real estate and also legacies through real estate.
Absolutely. That's amazing. So, of course, you're a realtor, and you don't mind me asking, how long have you been practicing this?
So I've been in the real estate industry for 2 years dealing with investing, and one of my mentors finally told me just go ahead and get your license so you can be, you know, have dual hats, be multifaceted.
Absolutely.
And I got my license in January 2021.
Oh, congratulations.
Yes,
congratulations.
Thank you.
You know, there's some information I would like to share, but I'm going to hold it back right now. But definitely looking to be working with you in that respect for a little bit. But you know, you just have to, when you have dreams and you have ideas, why not me? That's something that, shout out to my boy at Mo Better Boxing, Lewis Brown. That just stuck in my mind when I was doing an interview with him. We were talking about doing certain things and how people get distracted from doing what they need to do. But what you need to think about every time is, why not me? You know, a lot of people say, why me? Why would God choose me to do this? Or why did you choose, blah, blah, blah. Why not me? Why not you? You know, so just go after anything that you set your heart out to, or any ideas that you have that you're contemplating and that you want to make happen, because nobody can stop you but you. You know, I just had to throw that a little bit in there.
But that's really great that we try to show the women, like in a lot of times in society, especially us as Black and brown women, we're held down and set to the stigma that they set a cap on how much we can make. We go to oil and gas, or we go to corporate, it's like you can only make $70,000 a year.
Right.
So instead of capping ourselves, it's like, why not us?
Mm-hmm.
You know, everything that you see in America, we built. And so even further to that point, if we look at ourselves, it's like everything that was created started from a thought.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Absolutely. So I'm gonna ask her a question, and you think about what you want to ask her too. So the idea of getting the GBHT started and the journey to getting that started, was there any difficulty that you feel like you faced, or did you have any moments where you're like, man, this ain't gonna work, or anything like that?
Yes. Oftentimes people don't understand the word consistency.
Mm-hmm.
So myself and my co-founders, us having to wake up every day and continue to produce, even when we weren't producing, probably was a big thing. Other encounters with people that look like us, that don't necessarily want to be what we're about, has been a big encounter. And another roadblock kind of is just kind of filtering out who really wants to move with us as a unit.
Okay.
And that's another big thing. So we're just coming across different people who want to stagnate us, but us, because we move as a unit, we won't allow ourselves to be.
Absolutely.
So it's just getting that consistency. And then even ourselves as co-founders, we had to be able to do SWOT analysis of ourselves so we can move better as a unit.
Wait, hold on. SWOT analysis. There's some people that ain't up on the game. So if you speaking like that, go ahead and tell us what SWOT analysis is. So
SWOT analysis is something that businesses typically do to figure out how their consumers are doing and how their business analytics are going.
Mm-hmm.
So SWOT stands for, it's SWOT. It's your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats.
Preach.
Yes. So we went ahead and did that for ourselves and then with our business as well, because us as being a double, sometimes people count us as triple minority, we face a lot of threats and opportunities at that. And ourselves, again, as being Black women, we face a lot of strengths and weaknesses that we have. So being able to analyze ourselves, we're able to construct and see how we can further help our women in our community, and then of course go to the brothers as well.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. And it's important just in life, period, not to talk about business or ventures or anything else. You got to know where you're at. You know, you got to be able to analyze it, like you said, because you can't truly progress, I guess, if you're not knowing where you're at and how to make up for, any missteps or anything like that. But speaking on what you were just talking about, what is your message? How are you trying to, you have a new audience, which is my audience. So what are you telling those people to make them say, you know what, I need to see what these sisters talking about, see what these sisters doing. What is that message that will get the people listening?
Our biggest thing from GBHT is, what is your legacy? Oftentimes people as entrepreneurs, especially ourselves, they come across being an entrepreneur to survive, not to necessarily thrive. So we're trying to change the stigma from only being an entrepreneur, almost like you're 9 to 5 and you're just bringing home the now, and continue to generate those streams of not only income, but passive income for your future successors. So we want to really push people to do more than just, the box of being entrepreneurs.
Absolutely.
Oftentimes our parents and our grandparents, if they did own businesses, they couldn't pass them down to us, unfortunately. And if they did pass us down anything such as funds, which a lot of people don't get that, they may not
inheritance in our culture.
Right. They may not get the business mindset. So we're truly trying to change the narrative of, being a worker, a slave, and, put it into being.
Say it. We got a call on it.
Right.
Yeah. So, some new slavery going on.
Right. And that's the biggest thing, is we want to do legacy. Even when we see the real estate industry, it's very, very difficult for our people, essentially, because credit may not be right. There may be felonies. They may have a larger family, and the landlord necessarily doesn't want that many people in there. So from all these different avenues, there's no reason us as a people shouldn't be able to gather ourselves together and work as a unit to say, hey, I have this home I want to sell. You're able to sell it, and then we have another person on the other end who's ready to buy. It can be that simple. We just have to work together.
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely. Anything you want to throw out there at the moment?
I would just ask, how did you guys meet? How did you start your team?
So through Ashley. Ashley is actually the head founder, and Jasmine and I came on later to assist her with that. Ashley was so amazing. We were actually like Instagram stalking each other. And she was doing great work out in the field. She was an investor as well. And I was like, man, I really want to be a part of this. What's going on? How can we get involved? And so from there, we started doing like just little Zoom courses just within ourselves, making ourselves, some type of income stream. And it's like, everybody that we kind of told about GBHT, we attracted other women who wanted to be able to purchase homes too. So it kind of formulated in that way. And then we're like, okay, let's just execute. Let's just go for it all. Now we're creating memberships. We've had people across the country and across the world reach out to us. They want to start their branches over there, like GBHT Ghana and California and whatnot.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
that's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge. And so, I can see it, like you said, GBHT Ghana, just have different chapters moving across. So that's just a call. That's a call to action right now. So if you're a lady right now that's interested in, I would just call it girl power, queen power, if you're looking to build sisterhood and also give you some sustainable futures through home purchases and understanding how important that is and leaving a legacy, which I have to ask this question, right? So, it's like a YGBHT, but also how women, y'all are just taking over. You know what I'm saying? It's like y'all on some I don't need you, brother type stuff.
No,
I'm just saying, this is for certain people that I'm speaking to right now. But no, how do you look at that? How do you look at being a successful woman and not sure if you're in a relationship or if you're dating, but just if you got to that point, if you're in that point, how do you look at the balance of that? What is your take on being a strong woman, but also the idea of the man needs to lead? How do you feel in regards to that?
So most definitely, I know in this society, a lot of women are very much so like, I'm independent, I don't need no man. That's completely wrong. Like, we do need our men. They have turned us against our men, but with GBHT, we're getting a space for women to get themselves together to then produce and go back. And then maybe when they're ready, they can go with their man. Yeah. So instead of, coming up saying, I want a 6-figure man with X, Y, and Z, and you looking like a lump of mashed potatoes, we get our sisters together amongst sisters and learn how to be women. whatever they need help with if they have kids, and, be able to create a safe space. And then when they're ready for that time. But a lot of times our women, either they wait so late and try to build up their legacy, and then when they're 50, okay, now it's time for me to go off and do what I want to do. But if we work together, we're able to build a little bit faster.
Yeah.
And I don't, negate anybody building together, but we do see oftentimes, like with my mom, I know she got married at 20, and she never had her time to build her legacy before getting with my dad. So I just want to show young women, like, it's okay to build up and then come together if needs be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And my take on that, and well, actually, I'll let you go first. What's your take on that, in regards to the girl power deal? And,
I feel like, yeah, we were probably forced to really go for that girl power, independent women, type deal. And women, everybody is independent. Everybody is, men are independent, women are independent. It's a neutral gender, subject. So I just think that, like you said, you get yourself together first. So it's okay. You have your own house, you buy your own house and you build up your legacy, and then you find your significant other, or you come together with that person when y'all meet each other halfway.
Absolutely. You got a lot of people doing it the wrong way, like you said, though, building together, there's nothing wrong with that. But I actually like it because, y'all sisters have a special way of applying pressure, right?
Right.
So when you have yourself together and you apply that pressure, then that absolutely brings forth men who are doing what they need to do and who can bring equal to the table. That's what it's all about, bringing equal. And if the equal balance be like if the man or the lady is a little bit less than the man pull her up. But we're pulling each other up these days. That's the thing. And I think that's very, very, very important that we pay attention to that. And everybody, like you said, is independent, and builds their own. Because when you come together with a strong foundation, man, you just make it better for the future generations. And that's what it's all about. So as far as like activities or programs, is there certain days that you guys are doing this, and what do you do on social media?
Yes, so we are constructing our event calendar. Our website is scheduled to go live May 23rd.
Okay.
It's going to be gbht.us. And you guys can see our event calendar there. We do have our second event. It's going to be a credit repair fair at the Black Store, Sunday, May 23rd, from 2 to 5 p.m. And so we're really just having the community come out, having some credit specialists kind of analyze what you may need to work on, and really just consultations in person. So then you can go to there and then to the mortgage lenders, see what you can and cannot get pre-approved for at such credit limits, and then realtors if you kind of want to see what you're going to shop around for. So those are kind of some things we're working on. Also working with sellers right now who own properties. It is a seller's market, so sellers can get top dollar. So we just have a lot of things that are coming up, a lot of commercial real estate events as well. Really everything real estate. That's what we do. Everything real estate. And we are having some youth programs that are coming up this summer as well to get, the young kids involved. We have one of our mentees that kind of goes around with us right now. She's 16, and she kind of just follows us and gives some avenues in how to leverage her content creation for real estate.
Okay.
So we're trying to, reach the community as well. Right.
Absolutely, that's good. Thinking ahead, it creates a whole new lane, not for her, but also your organization. So if you don't mind, I guess, talk a little bit about more specifically some things that people need to be aware of when they're trying to buy a house. If they're, I guess from both sides. If you don't have it together, you don't know what to do when it comes to buying a house versus someone who kind of understands and what they need to be thinking about, if you don't mind.
Yes, of course. So if you don't have it together, the first thing you need to do is get pre-approved. A lot of people come to the notion of like, oh, I want to buy a house, but I'm not ready, so I'm going to wait 2 years and do 2 years of nothing. If you want to purchase a house, you can see our home buyer's guide. We're actually going to put the link inside of our bio on Instagram at gbht.houston. And from there, it will tell you kind of step-by-step guide. So we do have our preferred lenders who will allow you to get pre-approved anywhere from a 500 credit score. However, you just have to have your debt to income ratio under 57%. So if you have a credit score that's 580 or above, we can most definitely work with you. If it's going down to 500, we can still work with you. You just may get a lesser amount that you get approved for.
Okay, say that again, because I didn't even know that. I'm not aware of that part.
Yeah, most people aren't.
So the lower credit score, explain that for those people who are, definitely working on their credit. and looking to get approved?
So we do have a program with our preferred lender. If you have a credit score as low as 500, you can get pre-approved for a home. Your debt to income ratio just has to be under 57%. And then so make sure, if you're wanting to get into a house and before you get pre-approved, you go buy a car, that's going to mess you up a little bit. So, kind of be frugal, buckle down, because as long as it's under 57%, we can get you into a home.
Absolutely.
Right? And so right now it's a seller's market, so interest rates are really, really low. So we have some people getting qualified for 1.6 interest rates.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's
really
definitely
need to hook up with GBHT.
Right,
so
right,
you have
right.
something for everybody. And that's always a good thing, because, people that kind of have it together, they have options and this and that. But it's those folks who are struggling. That's kind of the area that I try to reach the most, is our underserved, underprivileged, because they tend to be forgotten about, and
true.
so we want to make sure that any opportunity that's available to them, that we give it to them. So, your lower credit score people, you can still come and see Ms. Humi or connect with GBHT. Follow him on Instagram at gbht.houston and get all the information he's talking about. So, I'm sorry, go ahead to the other side of the credit score.
Right, and so if your credit score is 580 or 620 and you're ready to go, and you think you need 20% down, if that's what's holding you back, you actually don't. If you're a first-time home buyer, many people don't know, with a 580 credit score or above, you can qualify for an FHA loan. Mm-hmm. And so with the FHA loan, you can put 3 to 5% down. So I actually did forget to mention, with the 500 credit score, you have to put 10% down. So that's the other thing. However, if you have 580 or above, you can put 3 to 5% down, and then get into a home.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
Yes.
Any questions on that?
No.
Anything come to your mind? Man, I think that's an awesome program. And so it's the readiness of getting prepared to buy the home is what you guys are really, really, really instilling.
Yes, that's really what we're focusing on. We're about to start our legacy project, where we'll put people in cohorts to go through the credit repairs, through the preferred specialists that can get them or the lending that they need, mm-hmm. and then onto the realtors. And so we're about to take on about cohorts of 25. Okay. And we're focusing in on, women inside of the healthcare industry. If our brothers want to come, y'all can come on too. But GBHT goes by houses too.
Yeah.
So, but we are going to be taking people in increments like that, because people just don't know where to go.
Right.
People don't know how the process is. And if people really saw how easy it was step by step, they're like, I would have did this 5 years ago.
Gotcha.
So that's all it is about our biggest values, our education, application, and production. Okay. So not only do we educate you, we want you to apply what we educate you with, and then produce, what your dreams are.
Yeah, so. Yeah. And I'm sure you guys preach, repeating the process, bringing somebody in. So are there any certain individuals, like realtors or credit people, are y'all looking to still add folks to?
Yes, we're always looking to add to the network, because we want everybody to be able to eat. So, if you're a credit specialist, you're a mortgage loan officer, you have your NMLS license, all of the above, and any realtors, actually investors as well. Because we help people in a plethora of ways. Even if you don't get pre-approved for a home and you want to just start building your real estate portfolio, we have investors that'll help you on that end as well.
Okay, cool. So talk a little bit more about that. How does that work? What are you doing with the building of that?
Right. So a lot of people, they have sporadic terms of what things are. So we just kind of capture, people call it wholesaling, but we do investing under our belt. Right now we're actually closing on a lot in Willis, Texas. So with those type of processes, we'll be able to walk people through from the contracts on up, so they can really see how to make some capital to purchase land for community projects, if they want another black store, if they want another, esthetician space, or whatever our people need. We're trying to raise that capital within ourselves, so we can, put a grocery store where there's a food desert at. Absolutely. And so, of course, real estate is a big key to that. You have to be able to have capital and have our own land. So if people are interested in that, we are having our membership group. That's going to be an accountability group as well, so people can know, how to do the contract, how to look for the deals, how to negotiate with them, all of that. So.
You guys are equipping everybody to
yes, because
no excuses.
No, it's true. There's, a lot of us, we started from YouTube University, but then we got with real mentors who are actually doing real projects. Okay. So that's the biggest thing, and we want to be able to give back what our mentors are giving to us, and then, get everybody else in at a wide range. We're trying to reach, across the globe.
Absolutely. That is the key term, to reach, right. And just expand. And so by you guys connecting hands, rubbing shoulders, it's definitely going to be a situation where it just expands over and over and over again. So much salute to you guys. And shout out to the partners in the building. They're definitely here. We want y'all to know they're in the building. She's not alone. The team is great, and they're doing some amazing things. And so with the thought of all the things that you guys are doing, there was a number or something that I think I remember that you were talking about by the end of the year or something like that. So I want you to speak more on that.
That is a part of the Legacy Project. We wanted to get 100 women into their homes by December 2021. Now, that's a goal that we set. If we get like 82, we'll be content because we're helping these families get into homes. However, we are going to take them in the cohorts that I was speaking of. We're going to do four cohorts of 25. So that would make it a little bit easy for us. We have the preferred lenders, preferred realtors, preferred credit specialists, and we're trying to get this into the groove so we can have those cohorts for people. If they're 2 years off to buying a house, we'll just have them in the 12th cohort and continue to work with them until they're ready to purchase a home.
Gotcha. So this is the part where I call it your mini commercial. So, you know, for people who are just tuning in, we're on several different platforms, so people are kind of scattered all around. Again, of course, your name, and then let them know what you're doing and how to follow you so they can remember where to get all this amazing information.
Right. Peace, social fam. My name is Humi Jackson. I am a realtor and one of the co-founders and CEO of GBHT, Girls Buy Houses Too. You guys, please follow us on our Instagram at gbht.houston. Again, that's gbht.houston. You know, feel free to DM us. We're launching the website May 23rd. We have our credit repair fair on May 23rd at the Black Store, 8616 Cullen Boulevard. We're looking forward to seeing you there.
Absolutely. So definitely want to make sure we repeat that and get that out there. And as you can see on the screen, it's how to follow them on social media and on IG. And then if you're on Instagram, we're not ignoring you. We just can't comment back. So we will definitely circle back. If there's any comments that come up on Instagram, we'll circle back to them. Or you can just hit them, I guess, in the inbox. So,
right.
You know, DM and just get with the movement that they have going on. I think it's amazing, especially you ladies. Help them reach their goals of getting to 100. And in regards to being part of the cohorts, is the same way. Just reach out to you on DM, stuff like that. Just pay attention to, you know, any of the updates that they have coming out. Any questions again? We got my co-host right here. I want to make sure that you just jump in if you need to. Okay. And so another thing that comes to mind for me is when you have the different groups of people, of the cohorts, as you said, and everybody's learning, is a situation where everybody will learn at the same, you know, like at the same pace, or is it broken off or anything like that?
So if they're in a separate cohort, they are more than welcome to get ahead of the game. But with the cohorts individually, we're working on those specific cohorts to really rapidly get them where they need to go if they're ready. Okay. And so everybody else, you know, they're free to attend like the credit repair fairs and all the events that we're hosting. Okay. However, when we're working with those people, we're working with those people to make sure that they can really enhance the experience of purchasing a home. And
that's amazing. And what is something that, you know, is a message that you feel like as you're talking, something that's on your mind that you would want to share? Is there anything in particular?
Yes, I would really want people to know that it's relationships over any type of transaction. Like, this is one of the biggest purchases you may make in your lifetime. Hopefully it's one of the first of your major purchases you'll make in your lifetime. However, I don't know many people that just off on a random day spend $250,000, you know? So we want to make sure that we're really building relationships with you guys. It's about building the community. We're not just realtors or mortgage lenders or credit specialists. We're community developers. So this is a part of a bigger project for us to get people inside of neighborhoods, for us to build our own communities with grocery stores, Black beauty supply stores, and youth programs across. So we're planning on trying to copy and pasting this project internationally. So you guys are at the grassroots level. So I hope you can stay tuned for the rest.
Absolutely, man. It's very, very, very interesting. And that's definitely a huge point. And at this moment, I'd like to, if you ladies want to get on camera, or if you want to shout out anything that your partner is not maybe thinking of, or just something you want to share or reiterate. She says everything. Okay, great. And then put you on the spot. I just want to make sure we give you guys an opportunity. She has a amazing team. We'll let them step in and say hi to everybody. We have Instagram going. We have the Facebook going. We want to make sure they see you guys as well. So this is the rest of her team, and they're doing some amazing things over at GBHT. And before we shift the conversation, just give all of you guys, if there's anything that you feel like Again, like you want to say any last words, any type of messages that you want to provide to the people, just look into the camera and let them have it.
Well, hi guys, I'm Ashley Blanton. I actually started this GBHT and then I brought on my co-founders, Humi Jackson, and we turned this into the most amazing thing. So I really hope that you guys can come out and see us on May 23rd at the Black Store. Like she said, this is a community effort. So we do want to make sure that we're instilling in your mind that we're trying to build a community, build up our Black people, you know what I mean? But that is it. It's all Jasmine probably has something to say.
Hi guys, I'm Jasmine. I just wanted to let you guys know GBHT is solely purposed on unity. Like, we need to come together, and that's our main thing, especially as women, because you know it's so hard to find a good friend, a good woman to confide in, and we are going to be that. So if you need us, we're here for anything. So,
and we're about the business.
Exactly.
All about the business. Yeah.
So we just want to tell you, whatever you got going on, you know what I'm saying, stay focused, stay strong, stay ambitious. Don't let anybody tell you you can't do it, because you can. Take those words and turn them around. You can do whatever you want to do, and just, you know what I'm saying, stay on the lookout for GBHT.
Absolutely, absolutely. And my message to all the brothers out there, y'all know the message behind Dad Chronicles and why I started is we can be better men no matter what level we're on. I always make a joke about being Jay-Z or Barack Obama. They can even look in the mirror and find out a way to improve themselves. So, you know, keep pressing, brothers, because you got women like this that are stepping the game up. You know, much salute and much respect to you ladies. You know, and y'all can stay in here or y'all can sit back down. I appreciate y'all being part of it. Okay. But I wanted to shift the conversation, bring my co-host in and talk about what you're doing and all the things you're doing, because I found out y'all have some similarities in that regard too. You know, so we want to, again, thank GBHT for being here. And again, follow them at gbht.houston, and just shift the conversation a little bit to talk about, you know, some of the things you're doing. Also want to talk about your event you have going on next Thursday. Yes. And maybe, I don't know, maybe y'all can connect on that as well.
Hey.
So yeah, just let them know what's going on with this. So the floor is yours, Ms. Maegan.
Alrighty. So once again, I'm Maegan Chenelle, and I'm an esthetician by trade. So I do facials, lashes, makeup, everything beauty. The name of my company is Beyond Beautiful, and my purpose is to help women and really just people in general really look beyond just the surface beauty and really become beyond beautiful on the inside. And so, like, I love what Humi is doing, because she's really grooming the women to really, you know, get ourselves together. And so, in general, everybody needs to, you know. So that is what I do. And I have an event coming up this next week on Thursday, on the 13th. I will be hosting a paint and sip. It's called Date and Paint. And I'm doing Date and Paint with a chakra twist on it. So if you guys know anything about chakras and balancing your energies, that is what the theme is going to be. So we're going to be going into how to, you know, just balance yourself and really get your energy together.
Yeah, yeah. Lead with it, I guess, you know, and I'll let y'all speak on that. And I'm gonna slide back a little bit, because these ladies have a lot to say in regards to this. I know you have some products and stuff, and so, you know, it's a great way to segue into this part. You know, why on both sides, what's so important? And, you know, we're acting like people don't know, but we have to do this. But for those who may not know, and for the audience, but why is your energy and why is balancing your energy so important to you?
So it's important because that's what speaks before you open your mouth. Your energy is what introduces you before you even say anything. So it is important. And not only that, when you're by yourself, mental health is Mental Health Month. And so it's so important for you to be balanced and to be content with yourself and to be happy, or at least be working towards that.
Absolutely. And I find it to be just all too common. You know, we look at folks and we think, oh man, that person has it together, this person is doing this person is doing great. And all the while, when they're home alone, they're suffering, you know, and they're just messed up. And so another reason why you guys need to stay tuned to Dad Chronicles and the Walk for Life event that I have going on next month. You can get registered right now. Just go to www.dadchronicles.com. Find a man or find a reason why you want to create a team and get registered for our walk, which is going to be on Father's Day weekend. It's all about men's mental health and wellness is the core thing. But due to the society we're living in now with COVID and all of this stuff, because this is my second annual one, I'll say that. We started last year, and of course, we know COVID had hit. And it was a great event. We had to make it virtual. So it is virtual and on location this year, but we have to stay focused on mental health and wellness because there's so many people suffering from it, and not just men, you know, so that's why I say it's definitely open to men, women, children, boys and girls, you know, just on that particular weekend, just support Dad Chronicles in our efforts to provide resources for men and everyone alike, you know, but our core focus is getting our men together, you know, and helping them be better. So that's why I keep repeating that, because we're the ones who don't want it. You know, you see these young ladies right here, they're doing their thing. And not to say that they're not men out there who are not trying to get themselves together, but we are a little bit slower, I guess I would say, in that area on average. You know, speaking on average, because we can't tie everything down to just a group of people. But on average, we're not consistent in our health and well-being. There's people that are going to tell me I'm not doing what I need to do, you know, for my health and well-being. But when you're trying to do a bunch of things, you got to stay focused. And that energy, going back to that, is a big part of it. And we definitely want to be mindful of everybody's mental health and wellness. And so, Humi, how do you feel in regards to the energy statement?
Oh, it's huge, especially with me and my girls when we come into meetings and we move as a unit. The first thing people say to us, like on a daily basis, we can feel the energy.
Right.
Oh my goodness, you guys are producing. They wouldn't even look at us yet, and they can just feel it from behind. But it's really big with mental health, what you all are touching on, because in business, we're realizing like we have to take a break. Mm-hmm. We have to be able to take some time for ourselves, just go and relax, you know, maybe sipping wine, you know, and wind down a little bit, because when you keep going at it, you might end up, you know, running around outside, you know, like a chicken head, you know, with its head cut off. So it's really huge to conserve and knowing who to deal with on what terms. Absolutely. Instead of continuing to let people leech off of you, you have to know when it's time to move around and when it's time to speak. Discretion is huge. And so us as women, we're learning that, right? We don't have too many people teaching that. Right. So if we can get on all, you know, that type of time, and maybe the brothers will feel more comfortable coming around this, because there's a big stigma in America about like the angry Black woman. Mm-hmm. And we want to show that's not us. We had a terrible encounter yesterday at a restaurant, and they wanted to portray us like that. However, using discretion, we, you know, pulled back and just went to another restaurant that was our people. So all those different types of situations, it's important for us to come back to talk with each other like, hey, how did you feel about this? How did you feel about that? Because we still are dealing with a society that looks at our skin color and, you know, will not give us service. And so,
judge.
It's funny that you say that, because I had a meeting yesterday, and our after party, it was for the rodeo committee. So, you know, it's a lot of white people for the rodeo committee. So me and my best friend, we were one of the only two Black girls, and then we had another lady who actually was already on the committee. And so, but we had all went out and, you know, and mixed and mingled with everybody. But towards the end of the night, you know, the waitress, she wasn't so kind. You know what I'm saying? And those two, you know, they're like, oh, and I'm just trying to keep my composure, because I'm like, I don't want to be portrayed as the angry, you know, Black woman or anything like that, especially around, you know, these other people who don't know me. So yeah, that's very important. But sometimes you are pushed, you know what I'm saying? And it's just nothing that you can really do about it, except for just say, hey, let me go shop with my own. Let me go where I am welcome.
And so the burden becomes upon us to, you know, we already carry ourselves in this type of way, but it's like we have to do it 10 times more on every, you know, it gets a little hard sometimes. You're always on your P's and Q's, you dot your T's and cross your T's and dot your I's, you know, but sometimes we just want to be able to relax and, you know, be us. So that's where we're moving to. That's why this is so big. We want to be able to have the capital to create our safe spaces, have more restaurants like the Breakfast Club. That's where we ended up going because of that. Instead, you know, and so all those different encounters, you know, we commend you guys just as much as it's on us to show women like, hey, if they act like that, we're just gonna, you know,
Yeah,
take our money somewhere else.
Take the high road.
Right.
You know, I joke with my daughter. She's like, Dad, we're letting them have it from now. We're just letting them have it. They, you know, they can go crazy. Not letting them have it in regards to going off, but just let them have that negative energy. You know.
Right. Because you let them have it in two different ways.
You let them have it in regards to we're just gonna keep our peace and keep it moving. You know, because that's all we can control anyway.
And one of my mentors actually just told us that he's like, when you guys will be at your best when you don't let anything get to you, because then that means that nobody has that much any control over you. Really.
Right.
You're able to dictate your own energy, and that's a strong thing that we're not taught.
Yeah, absolutely. And so also for the listeners, if anybody has a comment or a question, just put it in the comments. We'll be sure to address it to make sure that you guys get your thoughts in or your comments in. Just go ahead and put it in the comments, and we'll let whoever the question may be for address those comments. But another thing is in regards to the energy and the event that you have coming up, the focus on the chakra. Do you want to elaborate on that a little bit more in regards to people who may not understand what that's going to be like?
So it's a paint and sip event, and you can find the tickets on dateandpainttexas.com or dateandpainthtx.com. But there will be an instructor, and we are going to use paint as therapy, so color therapy, and working with the different colors, because each chakra has its own color and its own meaning and representation, and we have 7 chakras. And so we will be going through all 7 chakras and incorporating the painting as well with the learning experience.
Cool. So they'll get some more information in regards to that too, a little bit more in depth.
Yeah.
But so going to the esthetician side, right? And so you both have different products. Talk about your beads too. That's something.
So I have my bracelets, you know, to keep my energy on fleek. But these are crystal energy healers. The bracelets I have on now is citrine and tiger's eye. Citrine for abundance, tiger's eye for abundance and protection.
Absolutely. So another thing, that was Friday. I was like, man, I was just actually being mindful of trying to find some beads and find some for men, and walked up to you, and that's how we actually met, you know. And great spirit, great energy, you know, the same thing. And, you know, convinced me of what she was doing. So I had to get a few. So I appreciate you for the ones that you got. But so on the esthetician side, the products, and, you know, I'm going to let y'all have this conversation, you know, and speak a little bit more about it and talk to the ladies as y'all been doing in regards to what y'all doing.
So Humi, she makes hair products. We were talking about that before the show. So I would love for her to just tell us a little bit about her products and what's in them, and you know, how you can find her and use them.
Yes, so you guys, so my hair company is called Happy Roots, because healthy hair starts with happy roots. And actually a lot of my products I make for my garden. So it's really, really big. People don't know that gardening is the same as your hair. In order for a plant to grow, if you take care of the soil, it will flourish. People try to focus on the plant, but you need to nourish the soil. So the same thing with your scalp. Your hair will grow if you nourish your scalp. Everything is at the root. So a lot of those things, we use natural things, avocados and bananas, a lot of things, almond oil, everything really natural, no preservatives, no sulfates, no parabens, you know, and everything so natural you can eat. So
do you have a website for us to find?
It's being made, but we do have our Instagram, happyroots.co on Instagram.
Okay, perfect. I can't wait to follow. I'm so excited to try your products.
Thank you. I'm excited to try yours as well.
Yes.
So you have, being the guest, you are a realtor, you're helping, you're teaching people, you're gardening, and then now you have the hair care products. So
right. It's kind of like a full experience. No, I'm not. He's African, but you know, but it's kind of like a whole experience, but it's really building. And so we ended up focusing our narrative on real estate, how we have other things like mental wellness that we're going to do, dealing with the youth, you know, how to carry yourself as a woman, you know, everything from, you know, getting ourselves together, if we want to be more dainty over here and everything like that. It's a full, you know, rebranding of ourselves.
Yes, I love that. I absolutely love that. I can't wait to, you know, connect with you guys and work with y'all.
We're so excited.
I've been looking for my tribe in a community, you know what I'm saying? And it's just not easy to find like-minded individuals. It is, but not as far as like connecting with them.
Right.
You know, because like you said, you have to Instagram, IG stalk.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So like, and then you're like, hey, I really want to connect with this person until you finally get to connect with them. So I'm so excited about everything that you guys are doing. It's amazing.
Thank you
I
so
love
much.
the whole system that you guys have going on.
Thank you, and that's the reason why we have so many women that come to us on a daily. A few times while we were in meetings, women just come over and like, how do we be with you guys? How do we do business with y'all? Because y'all are sitting over here and we see it from afar. And so that's the biggest thing. We're creating that tribe of like-minded individuals. You know, they have so many different tribes, but this is, you know, this is a different, this is our tribe. And so it's going to be an international thing. So we really want to touch from all bases because I deal with a lot of people. My step team, we go to Ghana every year, and a lot of those women, you know, they don't associate with African-American women in the United States. Mm-hmm. So we want to be able to bridge that gap as well to show you like, hey, we're the same people, guys.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So that's really, really huge as well.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Man, y'all are doing some amazing things. I mean, we're talking about gardening, we're talking about buying homes, we're talking about basically just everything it takes to just get yourself together, you know, is really what it's all about, your energy and your peace. I just want to speak on that a little bit more too. So what is something that you tell people, either one of you guys, like when it comes to centering yourself and just getting into a space where you want to take over your peace and you want to not allow all these outside things to take over you? What are some simple suggestions or maybe some unheard suggestions? Because I feel like people think it's simple, but you get caught up on that a lot of times. But go ahead, yes ma'am.
Oh, I got a good one, guys. Boundaries. Right. You have to set boundaries, you know. You have to, even with yourself, the people around you, the people that you love, you have to put those boundaries in place because you will run yourself down to the ground trying to do everything, trying to be everything for everybody and not being what you need to be for yourself. Preach it. So, you know, that's the biggest thing is just boundaries. And even with boundaries with yourself, setting limits, like, okay, I can only do so much for myself. And then, like they say, you need to take a break. You have to take a break.
Right.
So,
and that's really, really huge. Myself and my team, we just had a conversation about that yesterday, about us not being stretched from A to Z, because we do have a lot of talented people in this world that, you know, want to be able to do stuff. But one of our things is we accept less to get more. Right, we're going to be able to focus in on certain things and partner with other individuals to create that. You know, even for you, like we don't want to take up being an esthetician. You know, we can partner with you to do those things instead of us trying to run from A to Z. That's what happens too much in society. Everybody's trying to do everything because we've been deprived and oppressed of so much. But if we just put everybody where they need to be, it will work out just fine.
Right. Yeah, let's speak on that, man. Yeah. Collaborations and why that's important. You know, and if people get that, what you just said, I mean, you said it too, is that don't try to own everything. You know, right. And it goes back to me for the reach. You know, if I have a 7 foot length wingspan, but if I connect with 1,000 other people that have a 7 foot wingspan, we can reach much further. Exactly, you know, than you just trying to do everything by yourself. So what are something y'all tell those people that have a hard time letting go? Because I ain't gonna lie, when it's my baby, I have a hard time letting go.
Right,
you know,
right.
So you know that's something that even with the portion that I learned, I was able to let go a little bit and allow other people to help. And we saw how that turned out. And I'm sure y'all experienced that. Yeah. Things that y'all doing. So what would y'all speak on in regards to that?
It's a learning process. It's not overnight. And I had a big humility. Like I look up to our initial founder, Ashley, so much because she actually was the one who showed us how to do that. In these endeavors, like I'm the same person, like I want to dictate everything. We've really had to work with each other as women, like seeing everybody's talents, because instead of one of us just doing everything, it's like, oh, we pull each other up where we're weak at. So we really had to learn how to work as a unit and, you know, really capitalize on that because we're stronger together. Yeah. And we're not going to get anywhere tearing everybody down.
Not at all.
So we've seen us do that for a plethora of years, so it's like, why not change the narrative? So being able to work with each other and navigate in that way is the biggest thing. And we see how much better we work together, how much better we work when we're using our strengths for our strengths, and where our weaknesses at, somebody else, you know, pops in and that's their strength. Right. So if we just do that, it's like it's a burden that's being lifted from you. It's really like a fresh breath of air because you're so used to always doing things by yourself. And although, yes, we're independent, we all need somebody.
Yes,
We all need somebody.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Definitely important to delegate, you know, and give people. That's another way you build people up. You know, it builds confidence, and it builds just the strengthening of the skills in whatever area that they're trying to help you out in, and it allows you to be free mentally. You know, it clears up a lot of space for you to understand and step back and be able to look at your project. So community building and teamwork, you know, they say dream works when the team works, you know what I'm saying? So that's what it's all about. I love what I'm hearing from you guys and y'all's team. Salute to you, young lady, you know, for being the actual founder and allowing these young ladies to help you and assist with that. And so is there any other questions that you have that you want to pose?
I don't think so.
Okay.
And we just want to say you guys got to, you know, plan the work and work the plan.
Absolutely.
Keep on working.
Absolutely. And so energy is one of the biggest things. You have to step back, and you have to understand that it's important for you to just recognize if you don't have yourself together. They talk about, often I hear the quote, like, my cup is half empty. I don't have enough to pour out, you know. And when you don't have anything to pour out and give, you just need to recharge yourself and replenish yourself. It's something that I've gotten into because, man, I'm huge about being here and there, and before you know it, you ain't got nothing left, you know?
You can't go anywhere.
You can't go anywhere. And so, you know, just last week, God had set me down. I was in the hospital for hypertension, you know, high blood pressure. And that's something, you know, and I see your face, you're like, man, what? Yeah, so I felt like I had COVID, man, and I was driving, coming to do my podcast now 2 weeks ago. And shout out to Restore, which is a company that I'm an ambassador of that company, helping them with cryotherapy and, you know, spot treatments and different things like that. They have a hyperbaric machine, and it's another place, speaking about energy, that you can just restore yourself and understand that personal care is so important. So let's head into that show, man, and this for the people who didn't understand what was going on. I had to call, and we had been talking, and I was like, I'm on the way. And when I got in the car, I just was like, man, I can't see. I'm getting dizzy, and was really tripping. And so, you know, me being determined, I'm like, no, I'm gonna go do this. Maybe I need to eat a little bit. You know, I'll be all right, because I was, you know, trying to get things together that morning. And it got to the point, I'm like, man, I ain't gonna make it. So I was mindful enough to pull over, made the call to her. I'm like, man, I'm so sorry, because we have been trying to do it for so long. And let me make the date. Hold on, let me see, because I don't want to misspeak. Whatever, in 2 weeks, we're going to redo that show. For everybody that was looking forward to doing that show, we are going to be back on, this is May, tripping. We're going to be on the 20th. So May 20th, Miss Haley over at Restore, we're going to have an amazing show. We're going to do it. I'm hoping we do it on location, but if we don't, it's definitely going to be a great podcast that you do not want to miss. So get connected with the Restore Cryotherapy place over in Sugarland. Follow them on Instagram. Cryotherapy with Restore and Haley is going to be another amazing connection I could probably make with y'all. She had a girls' night, different events that she does. So definitely a connection I'll make with all of you guys right there. So that's the plug for Restore. So all my Restore ambassador team and just the Restore over there in Sugarland. Shout out to you guys, and we're looking forward to all the amazing things we're going to do. But so getting back to the story is, like, I made the call, said I couldn't make it, felt really horrible about that, you know. And but you just gotta be mindful that when you can't go no more, you can't go no more. So again, I was convinced. I was like, okay, I didn't caught the COVID, you know, go to the hospital, went there, took the test. They told me it's negative. I'm like, what? Like, well, what's the problem? You know. So then they come back talking about the blood work. So affected the heart, affected the kidney a little bit. They come talking about she had a heart attack. And I'm like, what? I'm like, nah, you know. So I'm just sitting there and, you know, telling this story because there's somebody that can relate to this, you know. So in the long run, the COVID test came back, so I made a post, you know, because so many people looking forward to the show, you know. And then right in the next 10 minutes, I'm like, I got to cancel the show. So people are trying to figure out what's going on. So I went ahead and made a post, because I'm a private person, but I put it up like, hey, I'm in the hospital. Thanks for all the prayers. Got a little, thought I had a case with COVID. COVID test is negative. I'm fine. I'm about to get out of here, right? So then 15 minutes later, they come back talking about the heart attack deal. So I'm like, what? So they say the kidneys was affected, the heart was affected, but in the long run, after all of these EKGs, ultrasounds, doing the tests, you know, I was 100%, with nothing wrong. So I thank God for that. There's somebody out there that won't be able to get to tell that story because high blood pressure is a silent killer. And that's why I'm talking about this and the energy, because that's what it was all about. I was wearing myself thin, you know, trying to do too much. It's not that I'm a bad eater or anything like that. It's just that we have to be a little bit more mindful, you know, and you have to take care of yourself and that self-care and taking a pause, taking a break and delegating and, you know, allowing your circle and your people to help you out is so important because it'll reduce the stress that you put on yourself. So I'm just thankful to say that I ended up thinking I was getting out. I spent about 4 days in there. You know, they did a little treatment. They had to hydrate the kidneys, what it was. You know, I was dehydrated. You know, and once I left, they ran all the tests. Had to do a stress test for those people who know what I'm talking about. I did leave after doing a stress test. And so, like I said, they told me everything was fine, just needs to regulate the high blood pressure. And we're doing that, you know, and it's another reason why I like to get into the holistic things too. You know, I don't like to talk about too many pills and taking this and that, but you have to do what you have to do to make sure you take care of yourself. But just be a little bit more mindful up front and be on the preventative side, so that way you don't have to be in that situation. But I looked at it like, you know what, God's talking to me. Let me stop. He's letting me know that you can keep stressing about this, that, and the other, or you can be on this side where you're just living a joyful life, you know, and you're not concerned with every little single thing. So point in all of this is don't let nothing rob you. Don't let nothing take away from your energy. You know, get with Ms. Humi Jackson to find out all the things you need to know about real estate. Get with Ms. Maegan Chenelle, you know, talk about the chakras and, you know, just whatever you need to do. And if you have any doubt, just understand that everything is going to work out for the best and all things are working together for your good. That's the main thing, you know. And so are there any final thoughts? We're also, I want to say, we are definitely waiting on our final poet for the evening, my man BEazi. He's going to be here hopefully in a few minutes to bless us with a piece of his poetry. But before we do that, and in closing, is there any other final remarks that you guys have?
Follow us on the Instagram if you haven't already at gbht.houston. That's Girls Buy Houses 2, gbht.houston on Instagram. And we hope to see you at our second event, the Credit Repair Fair, Sunday, May 23rd at the Black Store, 8616 Cullen Boulevard.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm going to write that down.
Yeah.
On the 23rd.
Yeah, on the 23rd.
All right, cool. GBHT, Girls Buy Houses 2. That's amazing. And I'm sorry, what was the time again?
2 to 5.
2 to 5. 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Ms. Chenelle, what do you have for me?
That's a Sunday?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Well, I don't really have anything. I'm just excited to see what you guys have to offer, to go follow y'all on everything, and to connect with you guys.
And hope we can get you up into a house too, sis.
Girl,
Yeah.
What is I will say this for something that you guys find, even if y'all have a question you want to pose, what is one of the biggest, I guess, misconceptions or maybe misunderstood things about just the whole process that you wouldn't mind sharing with the audience, or one of the number one questions that you find out people asking you?
A lot of people don't know how easy it actually is. A lot of people pose it as being difficult because they have no knowledge, but it's just about getting educated. You know, you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
And that's the only reason. And I'm not, you know, anybody can go with any realtor or not. I mean, you kind of need a realtor to get into a home. But it's really as a source of education and to lead you. It's like you're coming into the world, a new world. As a newborn, you're like a week old. You can't even lift your neck up yet. Mm-hmm. So we are there to just help and guide, you know, and like, you know, help give some direction. So that's one of the biggest things. People always think it's difficult. It's really not. Yeah, it may be a little tedious, but hey, you're trying to leave a legacy. You're trying to get into some stability. So, but it's really not that hard. Even my sister, when we helped her, she was like, wow, if I would have known it was that easy, I would have got a house 2 years ago. So, yeah.
So I have something to add. So a question. So what about women who, so since we're encouraging women to buy their homes, and then of course when you get married, either you buy a new home or, you know, y'all move in together somewhere. So what do you do once you have your purchased home? You know, because my relatives, they sold their houses once they got married. So is that something that you recommend, or what is the best option for that?
So of course, everything is circumstantial. However, we do have a lot of women that want to create passive income streams. Airbnb is really huge. We just read an article about Airbnb is going to be up 300% because of the COVID closing. So that's a really great thing. If you already own a home, you're about to get married and move in with your husband, go ahead and keep it as an income stream if you balance your budget out right.
Okay.
Right? And then even if not, you can always become the bank for somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have, if you don't want to be necessarily an Airbnb host, you can be a landlord, but you have to decide, do you want to be a maintenance person or a landlord? So if you want that, you just have to include the expenses, how much it's going to take for the upkeep of the home, so you're not stretching yourself too thin. So it's really just circumstantial on whatever you want to do.
And I don't know, just getting knowledge on this particular field, but that brings an interesting question in what you said. So what is the difference between being an Airbnb host and leasing?
Okay. Yeah. So as an Airbnb host, it's not as strenuous because guests are not staying for like a lengthy period. And if they are, then that'll be between you and the guests. But there's a lot of different avenues to do Airbnbs. A lot of people just think residential Airbnbs. However, we have a mentor that does solely business Airbnbs. Mm-hmm. So it's a business space for people that come into Houston, 5 minutes away from downtown, and they book it for hours at a time for business. There's no bed even in the room. And so they went from making $300 a day to like over shy of $1,000 a day just from business. So Airbnbs have a plethora of things. You can just do an Airbnb event space. You can just do, Airbnbs go a long way. Right. For leases, however, you're going to have to do more maintenance of everything. There's not as much stipulations in the lease. There are stipulations in the lease, however, when you have a long-term tenant, you're not there checking every single day. Right. As opposed to an Airbnb, once that stay is over, you can go back and recoup and handle it there. So. Yeah,
I think that is very, very interesting. And you can do things so many different ways these days. That's right. The interesting part about it, but in regards to your question, it's just a matter of, I guess, like you said, is where are you at and what stage do you want to be in? And that becomes most important. And so, with that being considered, it's another way to plan out, map out, be mindful of the things that you're trying to do with your property, and just figure out a way to make it make sense for you.
Right.
I think it's the biggest thing.
And self-sufficiency. Are you proactive or reactive? If you're proactive, you'll have a plan for what you want to do later on. If you're reactive, well, you might be stuck with a house. Yeah. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for.
Absolutely. Well, you guys have been great, man. And, I think, like I said, our poet is going to be coming in just a moment. But during this time, I want to just say it's just so important that we keep circling back to have these type of conversations. And it doesn't have to be on a podcast. It doesn't have to be broadcast. Just get in the community and do the work. That's what's most important. Make sure you're touching a group of folks that are buying into what you're trying to teach, what you're trying to share, whatever it may be, and come together with as many people that look like us, I would say, is a big thing. But of course, we're not excluding anybody, but it's just important that we build and we operate and work together, because that's part of tearing us down. That has been happening for way too long. So we have to get it together in regards to that. And that's another reason why that's so important. So at this time, I just want to say thank you guys very, very, very much. We'll be back actually when my man BEazi gets here. We'll allow him to share his piece with us. But right now, you have reached the Reach Podcast Show, where we reach beyond the listener ear. And we just want to make sure that you guys stay connected with us every single week. Give us an opportunity to share the different experiences with the Black business owner, individuals who are doing their different things and dreaming their dreams and living those dreams out. And hopefully it inspires you in some type of way. And just remember, your energy, your future, your peace is all up to you. So we definitely thank you guys for tuning in. And if you have any questions on IG, just post those or inbox these two young ladies. I'll let you guys say your Instagrams one more time so everybody can follow you. Go and like and subscribe to the Reach Podcast Show on YouTube. We are definitely trying to get our YouTube page to be built up, because that's where we want the center of most of our stuff going here in the future. So like and subscribe to Reach Podcast Show with LeVar Ellis on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Look for all the things that we're doing and just stay connected. If you guys have mentioned my lovely co-host, Ms. Maegan Chenelle, go ahead and say your Instagram one more time.
Hey, y'all can follow me at Maegan Chenelle. it's on the screen, but just Maegan Chenelle on Instagram and on Facebook.
Absolutely.
And we are GBHT Girls Buy Houses too. I'm Humi Jackson, and you can follow us at gbht.houston on Instagram. And then my personal Instagram is at the Modest Realtor _.
Absolutely, absolutely. And what's that about? Modest Realtor.
The Modest Realtor. I just try to show our women modesty goes far, of course, with how you dress, but also your mindset. You know, meekness is not weakness. So
Absolutely.
we just try to show
I like that. I like that. I like
in
that.
all aspects. You know, humility, all of the above.
Absolutely. And shout out to the Diamond Fit Nutrition. Come on, T. She gonna try to shoot past. T ain't gonna come in here, but it's all good. Shout out to Diamond Fit Nutrition Center and Club. Come here and get your shakes and teas. Another way to focus on health. They have been a great host. I enjoy doing my shows here. So you never know when you're going to catch me back up here doing a live on location. But definitely want you to come by and sit in on the podcast if you feel like it. Just experience the vibe. They have great energy here at this place too. My girl Tawana Lewis, who is the owner and the founder, who's also here building the team. So you guys have been great. We appreciate you. And again, it's the Reach Podcast Show, where every show reaches beyond the ears of the listeners. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. Thanks.